Hello and welcome to Teacher Needs a Drink podcast. I am Elvis, your host, and I'm here to let you know that this is a not safe for work podcast. We are teachers at the end of our ropes and really the end of our weeks, end of our ropes, and we'd like to be able to talk honestly and openly about education without having to worry about losing our jobs. So we're going to be using pseudonyms throughout the podcast. This podcast is brought to you by a bunch of really special patrons who support us at Patreon. That's right, for as little as $5 a month, you can join and be one of our patrons. You get access to over 100 different pieces of audio content, new things on there each month. There is also lots of stuff going on our Facebook page. We're going to have some watch parties coming up soon. So come join the Patreon, and you also get your name read off at the beginning, like these beautiful people. Big thank you to Jessica C., Inga, Kaylee, Terry J., Tracy B., Miss Wonder Stats, Quentin P., Ekabex, Mistress Mischief, Natasha S., Miss Anthropy, Princess Buttercup, Dragon Lady, Helena C., Aaron B., Stephanie S., Texas Teacher Kristen, James Nally J., Samantha D., Lisa C., Rachel, Jen Jeannie, Exhaustive Band Director, Kimberly K., Jessica A., Swiffle Ev Owners, Amanda F., Ariana L., Physics Runner, Steph, Michael M., Aldrich T., The Scorpionita, Britt M., Teresa H., Biker Teach, Marcia M., Christina B., Jason F., Abby B., Sarah B., Regina N., Josie S., Sam B., Mary E., Kristen W., Vanessa J., Mary C., RJR, Kristen C., Johanna H., Irma A., Nimi, and Sarah N. Thank you guys so much for supporting us. I love all of you. Patreon patrons, mwah, you're the best. So, my other friends who are out there listening, if you get a chance, find somebody you know and just tell them about the podcast if you like it. If you don't like it, well, then why are you still listening? Bye. Anyway, I'd also like to thank our one other sponsor, Lud Lamb Dramatics. If you are a theater teacher or no one in your building, or you are supposed to be like doing a play after school but you only teach history, well, go to ludlambdramatics.com. They have some of the best educational theater resources for theater teachers out there. So everyone out there, ludlambdramatics.com. Join them and do it now. All right, folks, we are on episode 191. We are so close to episode 200. I'm going to start working on a plan for a party now instead of waiting until school starts going, hey, shit, guys, we got a new episode coming. But it's going to be great. I hope you guys enjoy this one. We had a great time recording it. Love y'all. Welcome back. Mwah.
Inappropriate comments, sexual harassment training, whatever else. Because every now and then someone comes and like, man, fuck this place. And I was like, hey. That's like one of the forbidden words in the training. Like, I haven't done my training yet. Like, I did 13 other ones, but we left that one out. I was like, come on. She was like, you got to give me some space. I was like, that's the one you really need to do. Because we work with 16, 17, 18, and 19-year-olds. Like, that's all we hear about.
Fuck off. And welcome to Teacher Needs a Drink podcast. I am Elvis, your host, and with me today I am joined by Count Chocolate.
We are counting down the days, but I'm glad to be here. What's up, everybody?
And across from me, Wayne Kerr.
Sorry, it's awkward. I'm trying to figure out how to clear my browser history.
And last but not least, we have Miss Bunny O'Hare.
Hey, Elvis. Hey, folks.
Well, folks, we're back. It's the middle of summer, dead smack in the middle, and I gotta say, we need a lot more summer. We're not ready. I was talking to Count before we started, and he's an admin because he's a counselor, and he starts next Monday. There's still, like, for me, at least a month before kids get back on campus.
That's the worst.
Or even a month before teachers start going back for professional development.
I go back at the end of this month. It's bullshit.
I got 2 weeks, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm just not ready. Not ready for that, because honestly, this last month, I mean, honestly, the last year, like 6 months of summer, it's been a dumpster fire. It's been crisis to crisis to crisis. And going into summer, it's just like, okay, at home, what's this? Oh, what's this problem? Oh, this. And one thing after another. I'm like, okay, I need some time where everything's just good. Even just give me like 48 hours. Just give me 48 hours. Everything's just chill, and I'm not thinking about work. I can just feel love for my friends and rest. But no!
Not at all.
You have to work. And you
Not
have to
at
go
all.
be teachers. So, I don't know. Let's think of something positive. You know, 4th of July, I had a good one. Last year, this year, I got to hang out with my son, my best friend, his girlfriend went to Colorado. We saw Grateful Dead a couple times. We had a blast. And it's been nice, and now I'm just getting ready for school and going, oh shit, well I still haven't trimmed my hedges since the beginning of summer, and after this 100 and who knows what the heat streak's been, my backyard's fairly dead because I don't want to waste water on it because what's the point? I'm keeping it alive and I can't go outside and stand on it because, it's 115 degrees, so I apologize to the neighbors, but it's mowed. It's dead, but it's mowed. It is the shortest yellow grass you will see
On the whole block, baby.
but it's trimmed, so it's not like wild stuff. But what's going on with you? How was your 4th of July? I know you had a beating of a summer too. We've been talking about that as well, but what was your 4th of July? Tell me something happy.
You know what? The 4th was the highlight of my summer. We took a trip, the whole family, the Countess and the Chocolate Drops. We went to Washington, D.C. So we spent the evening of the 4th on top of a parking garage watching fireworks over the Capitol building.
Oh, fun.
And other historic landmarks. It was great. It was extremely hot every day. It felt like Texas. I figured it wouldn't feel like Texas because it was more than 1,000 miles away, but it felt like Texas, and the concrete was just as hot. And the humidity was worse, so I could say it was, if Texas was hell, this was like Satan's armpit. But it was enjoyable. There were a lot of colors, a lot of food. I moved a lot. We walked a lot. Multiple outfit changes. Because when you sweat through everything in 16 minutes, it's great. But all the museums are free. You just reserve a time and you show up and walk through there and take a ton of pictures. And it was a good experience. So my 4th was the highlight of this. It's the best 4th of July I've had in, we'll say, a decade. So Count was thrilled.
It's good to have an oasis like that. Now, we escaped to Indiana for 1 week for a convention. And I gotta say, I've never been someone's like, gee, I want to go to Indianapolis. Nothing against it. You know what? It was a lovely town. They had like chili. You could get chili on just about anything. So that's something they got going. But the weather was fucking amazing. I was like, okay, this is good. I can. You know what? I'm not a huge chili person, but if I get to eat it in this kind of weather, all right, that's nice. So that was good. I've had a break from the heat, and honestly, this last week I've just been inside putting out fires left and right. So I haven't even noticed the outside. Wayne, what about you? Did you have a good 4th? I know you went traveling with your family.
Yeah, 4th just happened to land in the middle of our hike-a-thon, and it was awesome. We went to 5 different states in 8 days, but we spent 4th of July on the Strip in Vegas.
Nice.
So, in which case, seeing like 2 different hotels launching off fireworks basically at the same time. They still coordinated, but it was still like something that my kids will never forget, I hope.
Yes.
Because if they do, I will just majorly remind them of how long of a trip we made to do that. So, in which case, we had a lot of fun, a lot of outside. Had a great time, and it's very memorable. So,
No, I saw the pictures, man. I love national parks. I love those big desert farms and stuff. It's so amazing. And so the caverns, woo.
Oh, yeah.
I could always do more of that. I managed to get some of that in as well. I imagine Vegas just having a great drone show. And I saw pictures, I don't know if they had it for 4th of July, that new dome building that lights up where it looks just like either eyeball or whatever they want to do with it. It's just magnificent. It's like, this is a designer's dream. You just have a perfect LED half sphere. Have you seen that, Bunny?
No, I was gonna say for the 4th there was the city that I live in had a big drone show. I'm not gonna go into too much detail because it would give away
Where you were.
exactly where I live. But I was skeptical because I love fireworks. I know they're problematic, but I was skeptical. I was like, drone show. It was actually really cool.
Yes.
Like, we could see part of it. We could see the top half of it from my driveway without having to leave or take foo-foo out or anything. And it was really neat. Like, the stuff moved and was a lot smoother than I thought it was going to be. Like, some of the shapes, there was a big eagle at one point that flapped its wings, and it was I was impressed. Like, I love me some fireworks, but the drone show was pretty cool.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Now, I love fireworks. I don't like paying for them. Because I get excited and I'm going to blow this up. And I'm literally just blowing up my money for shit on the side of the road. And it's exciting for 40 seconds. That was $8.
Yep.
All right.
What is it? Apu from The Simpsons had a line about like, what better way to celebrate the birth of your country than by blowing up a small part of it?
It was Days of
Yes.
Confused.
Oh, yes, yes.
It's when the
it is.
teacher's leaving. It's like, remember on the bicentennial. Yeah. But did we do a Dazed and... We did do a Dazed and Confused watch party, but there were issues. I remember I missed half of it. I had a friend in while we were watching that, and yeah, it was just... That was the one like, we have to do this again. With everything works, whenever... We're going to do it... And so we'll do another watch party. Yeah.
Let's do that.
So join the Patreon. See the watch party. And we'll do Dazed and Confused again. Why not?
Let's do it.
Sure.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and start with our first from the Reddits. And this is a little different. It's posted by user Mary of Hawkstown. And, she's the mayor of Mary of Hawkstown.
Okay.
All right, whatever. Good for you.
Okay,
We'll figure it out.
And the title is New Pre-K Teacher. Help, being mentally ill. Please, please, please tell me your tips, coping skills, and stories, especially if you are neurodivergent. I want to be the best person I can be to these little people. But as it inflicted my mother, also a teacher with bipolar and delusions, I am terrified of the damage I could do because she was my role model. Thought all teachers should have been like her, the silly, cool one. Some of the kids loved her truly because she was kind. Some laughed at her for obviously not being all there. But now I see the reality of the damage your favorite teachers could do or have done by pretending the kids are your best friends. I've gotten so many traits that remind me of my brother, and I, 22, am scared. I just want to be a good teacher, yet loving authority figure for all the kids that make my life worth living. Help me by sharing, if you are willing. Thank you. Or if you know any good online classes for behavior as a teacher. So, there's a lot to unpack
Yeah,
there.
I was about to say.
Let's start with a really easy one. Without diving into neurodivergence, just let's talk about legacy. You're not your mom. You were raised in a completely different set of circumstances, at least so many years later, different environment. Even if your mom was unwell and you might have the same neurodivergent, that doesn't necessarily make you unwell. And how you handle it is what makes you different from your mom. And so I don't want to say it's on you, but this sounds like something that a good therapist and psychiatrist and doctor can help you with, or a counselor. Because none of us, some of us want to end up like our parents, but usually at some point we're like, yeah, there's things we don't want to repeat. I think everyone at the table just kind of looked down and had a sigh, like, yeah.
They're the good things. Like it's a buffet line. You want to go through and like pick out the things that you inherited from your parents that you respect, and then just leave the
Other things.
the weird crusty looking meat behind.
Yes, you don't need to touch like the weird salmon that's been on the
Yeah.
buffet all day long.
Exactly.
It's not good. It wasn't good then. It's not good now.
No.
But I think that's a great way to look at it. But just because your mom, probably, it sounds like she left some effects on you, doesn't mean that's going to be you. And you have the benefit of learning that this is not a positive thing that she had done or whatever she had done. So, learn from it. Mr. Wayne Kerr.
I would also say that the simple fact that you're looking at it as, how am I going to be this role model? That means that you're actually doing the whole self-reflection thing and figuring out, I want to make certain that I don't do this. So I think you're on the right path in that regard of saying, okay, this is what I don't want to do, so find out what you do want to do.
I like that.
I think that's excellent. And as far as, if you are bipolar or if you are whatever, and if it's something that could be an issue, make sure that the people who need to know, and make sure you have supplies of whatever meds you might need. And you might even, if it's a nurse you trust or someone in admin in the office, like, hey, I have this issue, if this med isn't met or if I need to get something, please be understanding. And just due to our laws, they're not supposed to tell everyone else in the school about it. You should be safe in that situation. And believe it or not, kids are not the only ones who can get accommodations.
Yep.
If you are an adult and you have an issue, they are required by law to make modifications for you, especially things like mental health or health, not even just physical handicaps.
Yep.
I can speak to that personally. I had a situation at one point where I was having panic attacks at school, and I was able to get documentation from my doctor that I was, under medical care for a certain condition, and when it happened, she was able to recommend that I be allowed to, have certain accommodations when that happened, and even for me, just having that in place, I only had to use it a few times, but just having it there was like a security blanket for me. Like, okay, if something happens, I'm going to be okay, and they can't like punish me for using this accommodation. It's legally protected. Like, they can't, write me up or like say that it's a, failing. It's a medical condition. Like mental health is a medical condition, just like,
Yes.
Diabetes or a broken leg or anything else.
Yeah.
So you can get accommodations, and sometimes having that in place is a great like mental security thing, just knowing that it's there even if you don't have to use it often.
To make it a very, very uncouth, it's like, you know what, I might need to go to the bathroom. I'm glad to know there's a bathroom somewhere within reach, because if I have to use, even if I don't need to know it's there, but just knowing that it's down the hallway and I can get there if I need to.
That
Yes.
close as needed.
That makes it a huge difference.
Yes.
Raven?
Yeah, I think one of the things you mentioned just a little bit earlier was that, or nope, let's nix all that. One of the best things,
Yeah.
one of the best things that I have to remind myself of as an educator is the primary source or reason of why I decided to be an educator. I wanted to impact the lives of the students that came through my classroom, the ones that I see in the hallways, the ones that are willing to listen and hear what I have to say, and the ones who need someone to talk to. And that doesn't change whether the student is 4 years old in pre-K, or if they're in a threes class, or if they're a senior in high school. And I think a lot of the aspects of why we do what we do comes from some of the best educators that we had our eyes on as children and young adults, and some of the ones who we felt had a lot of room for improvement and showed us how we may not want to conduct ourselves or handle our own classroom. So take those lessons, the ones that you remember, whether it be from mom or from other teachers that you had who really supported you, and allow that to help shape the way you facilitate and run your classroom and the types of relationships that you form with your students.
Yeah, I think that's excellent. But, I mean, it can be tricky, and honestly, this is something you don't want to wait till the last minute. I do know that the younger the students are, the less empathy they have and the less ability they have to see when maybe they're going too far or going too wild or teacher is losing their shit. And like middle schoolers and high schoolers can see that, and sometimes at some point a switch will flip like, oh, we went too far. Pre-K kids don't have that.
No.
When they're going nuts or having fun, they're going to keep going nuts and having fun, even if you're pulling out your hair or going crazy. And so if you're worried about just anxiety or about just something kicking where you feel overpressured, or it's just a overly stimulating environment, this is something you should address pretty much as soon as you can with your staff. It'd be a better experience for everyone just to know, hey, this is what's going on. Let's make sure we have everything ready. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And as far as classroom management stuff, my two tips would be, I mean, I can't give like direct specific feedback because pre-K is very different than middle school in a lot of ways. Some ways they're real similar, but in a lot of ways they're different. YouTube, actually, I have found some really good like classroom management advice, like a couple of teachers on YouTube. So like look through, find something that resonates with you, and look and see what you can find out there, because you are not the only or first person to be dealing with this, and sometimes that's a helpful thing to remember as well, is just that you're not the first, you won't be the last. Like everybody looks at their classes and goes, dear God, what do I do about this, And the other thing is just look to other teachers on your campus whose style you like, her class always seems like they're pretty chill, or that she's got a good vibe with them, and watch and learn from them. If you're worried about bad habits that you picked up from your mom or traits from that, you can learn and you can grab buffet line from other people as well.
100% that, because when it comes to watching teachers, and I think I learned the most my first year by seeing the way other people handle it. I'd see, oh wow, that teacher is able to do this, this, and this, and oh, this teacher has no control whatsoever of a situation. It's the same thing where you can kind of pick and choose what to take and what not to take home from it. And I think that's really, really important. But don't be scared. Well, every teacher is going to be scared. And I feel like this is almost mean to say, but you'd be stupid if you weren't. Right? For your first year. That means you have common sense. You know you're getting into something, but you will learn.
Yes.
And there will be good days and there will be crazy days, probably all in that first week. So just grin, bear it, make sure you have a good support system on the outside.
Yes.
Make sure you got someplace outside of work, whether it's home, family, partner, anything. Just gym.
And not Jack Daniels. Sorry.
I think it's okay in small doses, but you know.
The fact that you care enough to even be thinking about it and asking, shows that you are conscientious and that you want to do right by your students. So I think that's a good start.
Yeah, so Mary of Hawkstown, you got this.
Yes.
Get it, girl.
All right, guys, guess what?
What?
We have a Patreon.
I like it.
Shut the
Love
front
that
door
journey.
the fuck up.
That's right. We have a Patreon. For as little as $5 a month, you can sign on, get access to all kinds of extra bonus things. Now that summer's wrapping up, there's going to be a lot more content. We have movie watch parties. We have a great Facebook group where you can chat with other people. It's a lot more busy in the school year. Because right now, it's summer, and honestly, do any of you guys really want to think... Who is listening to this during summer? Are you on a road trip? Are you on the way to PD? Are you just in love with Cal and his luscious voice, and so you listen all the time?
That too.
I mean, well, you get to hear more of it if you join the Patreon. So do it now! Woo-hoo! All right, friends.
Oh, God.
Oh, love.
Watch out.
That's right. No, I just saw this.
Oh, God.
And, okay. So, my friends, for our Would You Rather, it's an animal one. Somebody might love this.
Well, okay.
There is no sex involved. Well, there could be.
Whoa.
Okay.
There is no inferred sexual things from the cards. But we'll see how Wayne feels.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Would you rather raise a business of ferrets as your children? I'm assuming a business is a large group of ferrets. I've never
Isn't that
heard
like
of
a
business.
murder of crows or something?
Yeah.
Like a flock of ferrets or something.
A horde of Karens.
Oh, wow.
Or, so, would you raise a business of ferrets as your children, or run a small business, but all your employees are talking swans? So, once again, would you rather raise a business of ferrets as your children, or run a small business, but all your employees are talking swans? So, my off-the-cuff, just first reaction to this. I had a friend in college who, she had a history of pets that died, but she kept getting pets. Like, she had a snake, she had a ferret. You might remember this person. And at some point, the ferret got into a wall and then got stuck. But before it, like, it lived for a while because you could hear it in this shitty little apartment wall. And, like, it smelled. But at some point, it finally did die, and they had to get the... And I was like, ferrets are kind of stink. I'm sure there are lovely ferret owners, but
Yeah.
I don't want to call people freaks or different, but, just get a fish, get a dog, get a cat. Don't deal with ferrets. Having ferrets as children, I mean, I get the fur babies to some extent, but you don't want to have fur ferret kids. And talking swans, here you go. Swans are vicious, and if you have employees who are on their shit, you need them to defend you and your company, some talking swans, no one's gonna fuck with a swan. It's like, wah, like wings on the wall.
Oh, if you could see him gesturing.
Now, I could see for if it's a packing and shipping thing, those wings are a problem. But maybe private security firm with talking swans. Fuck yeah! Okay, I got my next $1 million business. I'm out of the classroom. Me and this is Swan Security.
Yes.
I just gotta train those motherfuckers. Who's got the bread?
Right.
Oh, so you guys. So, Cal, what are you gonna take?
I feel like the swans could turn on me.
Yes.
But then my other question was, they talk, but Are they speaking like English or are they like honky? Like, so okay.
Is it like a parrot?
My guess,
Like, fuck you, Al.
I was gonna go with the business of ferrets.
Fuck you.
Raise them as my children though.
As long as you don't do the shared, what's it called? The shared sleep? The
Sleeping.
The
Oh
co-sleeping with ferrets?
no, they can have their own room and everything. I gotta go with the business of ferrets just because swans don't do it for me. That's it. I don't have a really good explanation. I'm sorry.
All right, Wayne.
It's got to be the business of swans, and instead of security, I'm going to have them in charge of customer service. So,
There you go.
As in,
Answering
like,
phones?
yeah, as in, like, they answer the phones and that's it. Like, what? That's it. I mean, everybody already hates customer service anyway.
Your review rating is going to be terrible.
It's just going to be.
I imagine them like,
That's amazing.
Mr. Elvis, we need to, this is too much. Go talk to the swan. No, I'd rather not. I'm sorry.
Take your case to the swan. Yeah, the swan board. The swan board will put you on.
It's just like a small 8x8 room with 2 swans in it. I go there, tell them. Go see how it goes.
Yep.
And it's going to have a really slippery handle. It's not going to be like those crush bars.
Yeah.
If you're in there with the swans, you're going to be like, yeah, I got plans.
What a question.
Oh. And Bunny, you?
I have concerns about the swans as a business.
Yes.
Because, like, depending on what kind of business it is, the talking is the only thing they're going to be able to do because they still just have the wings and the feet, and they're not going to be able to like help pack things or write stuff down, or data entry is going to be a mess. So like I just don't see how they would bring a benefit to the business. The private security thing did give me pause. That could be interesting.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I think I would be able to carry on with my normal life more with the ferrets. Nobody said I had to be a good parent.
Yeah.
You still
Kids in your cage.
That's what I was gonna say. You're still gonna cage them?
Damn.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
The shorter lifespan, I mean.
I mean, we do, put our child in, a crib or a pack and play, and that's essentially,
a baby box.
a containment unit of sorts. So
I mean, just get a lot of PVC pipe and just throw it into your house and it's fine.
If you put them in a pack and play, and put a lid, it could be Schrodinger's pack and play. And you know what? How are your kids? The ferrets? Who knows? Great, they've been quiet, but you never know. I mean,
Just insert the food through a
Yeah.
tube, it's fine.
all right, folks. Well, thanks for joining us for another episode of Teacher Needs a Drink podcast. I'd like to thank my host who were here today, Mr. Count Chocolate. Thank you for joining us.
the chocolate one is excited to be here. Thank you for having me, sir.
And Mr. Wayne Kerr, it was a pleasure having you and your scent.
Damn these digital footprints, my god, man.
Doesn't smell bad. It's just unique. We know it's you.
Oh.
All right, and Bunny, you are wonderful. I'm glad you're here. Thank you, sweetie.
it was a pleasure as always. I've been looking forward to this all week.
All right, my friends. Deep breaths, deep drinks. Cheers! Woo!
Baby.
All right, friends, thanks for joining us for another episode of Teacher Needs a Drink podcast. We'll have new episodes every Wednesday, much more substantially, words, when the school year starts in just, oh my God, I don't even want to talk about that. But when school starts, these will be back on in the regular. I'm glad you guys got to be here. I'm glad I got to see my friends. I'd like to thank all of my Patreons for supporting us and keeping us going. Patrons, I love you. If you guys are interested in joining the podcast or the Patreon, join it on Patreon. My God, this hasn't made much sense. I'd re-record it, but it's summer. So join the Patreon, shop at Lud Lamb Dramatics, tell other people about the show, and thanks for listening, guys. I love all of you. You guys really, things are turning around a little bit. Mwah.